Hi guys, this is just a real impromptu, very impromptu video. You tell by my hair. But I wanted to just announce because this was a big project. This was a garden project. And this was a very big project. It happened from about the beginning of October until the beginning of November with our Scorpio new moon on November 4th. Making sure that wasn't a full moon. Anyway, it was November 4th. I'm not the best at astrology. I think it was perhaps let's see, we just had a lunar eclipse. So we know that's a full moon. No, the solar eclipses are the full moons because the sun is opposite the earth. Anyway, whatever, sun and moon in opposition. But anyway, November 4th was the day that this big, beautiful pillar was anchored. And this pillar was very connected to the Holy Father energy, which is the amethyst color. And so what's really important now is crystals have a deeper ability to heal human DNA than they have ever had before, because there's a very strong bridging into the mineral realm, into the crystalline realm, especially. The crystals and all those gemstones have beautiful properties for healing us as human beings, healing us from the effects of toxins in our environment, toxins in our blood, really providing us with this beautiful medicine of crystal light energy through this amethyst pillar. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what it was like to anchor this pillar, like to be on the team that was bringing in this pillar. And we did it through our community on energeticsynthesis.com, which you can check out with Lisa Renee as our faithful leader of all the remote viewing and all the ways that she creates these facilitates amazing grid work, really. And I never know what's happening until I tune in with Lisa and find out all the particulars. But this was an amazing thing. And it took staying in a high frequency of expanded hope, joy, and excitement. It took building out multi-dimensional spectrums of pathways to actually bring online. So what we did is the body of the solar magi kings. All this sounds really wild, but Lisa was telling us the body of the solar magi kings had been in the earth grid, remaining as these like golden rings that were like under the surface of the earth, right? Waiting to be activated. And so what we did is we opened a space, we brought in the correct architecture to enable this golden rings to surround this great circle. And then the golden rings began to rise up into this body of the amethyst pillar, or the containment field. You might say the containment field of the amethyst pillar. This gold, this beautiful gold rising. And then in the middle came this beautiful amethyst pillar that had been in a passive position in dead light under the earth grid, right? It had been a part of the earth body, which had been in a passive sort of comatose position. And we watched as this magenta sands of time started to come up into the amethyst pillar and fill it. It was very much like a penis becoming erect. This amethyst, this magenta sands of time energy, fluid, solid. Lisa described it as sands of time, like sands, but liquid. It's hard to describe these things. Anyway, this sand of time was this animator presence that started resurrecting all the passivity in this pillar. And it started, like Lisa saw all the rooms in the house, like 36 mansions in this house of God, this massive Holy Father pillar. and she saw the amethyst, or I keep saying amethyst, the magenta sands of time reanimating, reawakening, and bringing life force into every room in this mansion of God. And there were like 36 rooms that were coming alive and coming aligned, and yeah, it was very fascinating and incredibly beautiful. And so this is a big victory for the Christed architecture on earth. This is the Holy Father really returning in the golden solar magi king body and the amethyst pillar, which of course this is the rod function, right? The golden eagle grid and the amethyst pillar are connected to the rod function, which is the masculine, and the turquoise, which is the staff function. This is connected to our Holy Mother. So we have a deeper communion now between our amethyst pillar and the Holy Mother architecture, which all of this is a fancy way of saying more freedom codes, more support for the organic living light to bring back the divine blueprint and the resurrection of the earth body. So I think that's the most important thing, is that this is a great gain for our Christic families and our human genome working on emerging back into its divine blueprint. So I haven't been doing many live videos right here on the channel, but there's certain things that I really want to memorialize and, as like a news flash. This may not mean anything tangibly to many, many people, but it is a fantastic victory for the Christed teams. And so on November 4th, the amethyst pillar rose from passivity and was filled with the magenta sands of time as the golden solar magi rings rose up to contain and become this body of the golden solar magi on earth, which has been in passivity. So very fascinating. I mean, if you were on the away team that did the grid work, it was a very beautiful experience. All hail the return of Holy Father and the golden solar magi king body in the earth. So that's my short little update, and much love to everybody. And yeah, just wishing you all the joy and all the love and all the fortitude to get through these times. These are challenging times. Fear is cleansing, purging. So many of our fear-based emotions have to be cleansed from the body vessel to be able to return to our divine blueprint, right? So this is really what's happening. And so if you're feeling a lot of surrender, a lot of not knowing what's happening, just know that great things are happening. And sometimes when big changes are happening, we go through a time of that feels very much like a void. So if you are in that time, I am indeed in that time myself. If you are in that time, sending you love. I have a little thing on my screen right there. Anyway, hopefully, so every time there's a big event, I'm going to just post it here on this page, so that I can begin to have the chronology of these big events. In fact, maybe I'll just do a summary of some of the biggest events of the last few years. All right, much, much love, everybody. Ciao for now.